What's up, YouTube? It's a fun day, getting ready to go on a recovery mission. Not the truck, not the Le Mans. The Galaxy's gone, so what's left? Oh, the charger. We gotta go pick up the charger. Got a little problem with it. I'll let my wife tell you about that one.
So here's what happened. My car has been having a coolant issue, of which my gracious husband has been attempting to fix. As I'm driving across a very long, no-shouldered bridge, my car starts to overheat. I call him in a panic. What do? He says, pull over. As soon as I get off the bridge, I find a abandoned road, and yes, indeed, the car is overheating, steaming.
What temperature was it when you called me?
When I called you, I think it was 250, and within 30 seconds it was 300.
Oh God.
I couldn't pull over on a bridge, so yes, turn the car off right away, pop the hood, took the cap off the reservoir safely, started putting bottles of water in it, of which engine was sucking it right up. Called him every
30 seconds.
Put the cap back on and was getting ready to try to start the car, and it built up so much pressure right away that the cap blew off by itself when I had it locked on tight. And then I heard a crack in the engine area.
Oh God.
And then after that, then the water started running out underneath of the vehicle. I'm just gonna throw this out there, not my fault.
So what are we doing right now?
Oh, so possibly the fan has quit, and that is why it was causing it to overheat. He went and picked up a new fan. That is a crack that I did hear in the engine area.
We'll be selling a charger real cheap.
Real cheap.
Well, nobody stole it. I guess that's a good thing. But I would like to thank the County Sheriff's Department that gave us a call about an hour ago, or asked if there was anything wrong or if our vehicle had been stolen, which I reported that it just broke down and it has been parked and we are in the process of getting it. So thank you, local Sheriff's Department, for checking on us to make sure that our car wasn't stolen or no funny business was going on. All right, well, before I go throwing a new radiator fan in there and wasting a bunch of money on a car that might be blown up, I already checked the fuses. So these two fuses right here, there's a 40 amp and a 50 amp. Both those appear to be fine. The third one in from the end, that number 10 right there that's clean, that one appears to be good. And then in addition to the fuses, there's also 3 relays for the fan. You have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So it'll be that one, and that one. Unfortunately, I need the rest of those relays. So I'm just going to do the next best thing, and I'm going to pull the plug out right here, and I'm going to check for voltage. Oh, you didn't want to get the track key? I think that has some cinematic advantage or something. So I was just going to check voltage at the plug with my handy dandy multimeter. But you know what? I already got a new fan, so I'm just going to plug it in and see if it works. You can lay there, and my plug here, and that guy.
What is the percentage of leaving this out and plugging this in and losing a finger? I'm gonna go with like 85%.
Never tell me the numbers, kid. That's from Star Wars. Okay, go ahead and fire it up. Once it's on and running, turn on your air conditioning. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Okay. You can cut it off. Why in this situation would I have you turn the AC on?
Because as soon as you turn the AC on, it kicks the fan on right away.
Why?
To cool down the coolant. I don't know.
Okay.
Cool the engine down.
Okay.
I don't know.
In this situation, the AC is our failsafe. This makes the fan turn on no matter what, because right here is my temp switch. Without this switch being against the radiator, so basically we just bypass this switch by turning the AC on, making sure that the fan works, and it does. So even if something else is messed up in here, we know the fan works with the AC on.
Yeah, quick question. So with fixing the fan that was not working, could it had done enough damage to the engine to where we're still kind of like screwed?
Yes, absolutely. This engine could still be completely broken.
And would that be why I heard that crack?
Yes.
Can we see if that damage is done before replacing the fan or no?
Well, see, I kind of lucked out in this situation. Normally, if you install the fan, it's yours. And then I would have just put $150 in a new fan on a busted motor. But it just so happens that this fan is also damaged. There's a big crack in the end of it, right there, and it's split right across here. And they noticed that prior to them selling it to me.
Oh, it's cracked right here, look. This whole thing is busted.
Oh man, it is.
Oh, and that is too.
Yep.
Oh,
Ooh,
this whole thing is jacked. Do you have any JB Weld? Could we JB Weld it or no?
Well, I don't know if they'll take it back once we JB Weld it.
Well,
I mean, I could.
who sold you this?
The parts store.
You don't want to call them out.
They weren't even going to sell it to me, and I took it just because I wanted it for troubleshooting purposes. Now I know that it is the fan, which, you know what, in reality, I could go get a perfectly good or brand new fan, throw it in there, which they didn't have in stock, and then I could have a running fan. However, if the block is cracked, once again, I just spent $150 on a fan for a busted engine. Let me double check. We've ran it a couple times, and oil still looks like oil. That's a good thing. We haven't turned to milk yet. Hopefully our head gaskets are intact. Hopefully our block is intact. Because if anything's wrong with it, it's going down the road to the next owner. I think we're done with that. Time to fire it up and see if she's actually going to cool and do what it's supposed to do. Check engine lights still on. And you're still out of washer fluid. And fill it up with some coolant real quick if you want.
No, we're good.
All right, while Rob's checking it, I'm gonna have her pull it out onto the pavement so I can see if it actually is leaking. If anybody is having problems with the shocks on their hood, on the Charger, install some Chrysler 300 shocks. I pulled those from the junkyard off of a late model Chrysler 300, and man, this thing, you can't even hardly hold it down, it pops up so quick. Because it got to where this sucker dropped down and smack you in the head. What's your temp?
197.
Okay. Okay, we're at 206. We're starting to lose coolant. Yep. We're definitely losing coolant. Oh, shoot. Yep. That is not good. What's the temperature? Yeah. Here, percolating down around there near the intake manifold.
That's where the sound was coming from earlier.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
Definitely smells like coolant.
Yeah.
I'm thinking possibly blew a head gasket and blew it outward, so you're pissing coolant out and not into the oil.
Isn't this what happened to the Explorer?
Yeah, the Explorer started losing coolant out the side of the head, but it was just a trickle.
It wasn't a waterfall?
It wasn't, no, it wasn't a big waterfall.
Okay, so is this where we call a tow truck?
We might be looking that way. Well, she might be dead, folks.
No! We're good?
Well, I really don't want to do head gaskets on this, especially with overhead cams. Okay, well, we're gonna attempt to limp this sucker home, so time to follow her. Hope she doesn't blow it up too much. Well, she made it about halfway to the house, so not too bad in one shot. But as you can see, it's puking, and it's puking. Looks like most of it came out the top of the cap. We left the cap loose while it was driving, so it wouldn't vomit out of the heads. You can see back there where it just blew up all over the place. We're gonna get to the house. I'm gonna take that fan out and return it. And then I'm probably not even gonna worry about replacing that head because honestly, I don't want to. I got too many other projects and I don't think it's worth it. All right, let it cool down, grab some more water for the trip, and then the next shot we'll be home, but we are gonna be fighting Walmart traffic, which is gonna be rough. Keep your fingers crossed, say a little prayer. We're gonna make it. Nice jugs, girl. I think we made it halfway home, didn't you?
Not quite. We gotta go across the other bridge yet.
I know.
Over to the other side.
Got some skills, girl. Got some skills. I don't think it's worth it, but why do you think we need to keep this car?
Because I love this car. And here's why. I am very much attached to this car, and this car we've survived some things.
Like what?
Running over a semi-tire with the rim on the interstate at like 3 o'clock in the morning and caught air and survived. Survived. If it wasn't for this car, I could have died. We've been through some stuff, this car and I. I am not ready to let it go. But here's the thing, this is what happened on the Ford Explorer that we had, and I regret getting rid of that car to this day. So, and you know how I am attached to this car.
True.
We've been through some stuff. We caught air on an interstate together and lived.
I mean, it's a Charger, you're supposed to jump stuff. The worst part about that incident was they replaced the entire front clip. They replaced the entire rear bumper, which split in half because of that rim. The front of this car was perfect, just to, on the very next road trip, hit a freaking raccoon and blow out the front valance down there. Stupid raccoon.
An Illinois raccoon, which are medium-sized dogs.
Was that in Illinois? I thought that was like a Bama coon. Oh, well, unfortunately, we were unable to save the Charger. It came down to a cracked head gasket leaking externally. We did discuss it heavily about replacing the head gaskets, but if you replace the head gaskets, then you really should replace bottom end stuff. And then if you replace bottom end stuff, the transmission that was kind of getting a little weak, having troubles here and there, would also need to be replaced. So basically I'm putting a whole drivetrain in a car with 200,000 miles on it that is, 11 years old. So we figured it best to just go ahead and sell it and move on to our next vehicle. So I'm not really brokenhearted about it. My wife is. She really loved that car, but you know what? There's always more Chargers out there, so hopefully another one comes along. Well, that sucks. That was a fail. What's happening, YouTube? I decided to do a quick video on fixing up my air compressor. And if you remember from a couple years ago, maybe if you look back through some of my old videos, I picked up a 60-gallon air compressor on Marketplace for rather cheap. I'm pretty impressed with the price I got it for. Unfortunately, the electric motor was bad, so I got on Amazon, ordered a new electric motor for it, and I think altogether I ended up having about 250 bucks or something into it. I'd have to go back and look. Actually, you know what? I'll put the total right here. And then anyway, I've been using it and it works fine, but it's extremely slow. It's 60 gallons and it only has a single piston compressor on there. So although the new motor spins it really quick, the actual compressor itself is extremely slow. So I picked up another compressor for it, but just to demonstrate how absolute slow and just ridiculous my old compressor is, let's do a trial run from empty to show exactly how long it takes to fill up a 60-gallon tank with my old compressor. Okay, this has a, let's see, so it's completely empty. I'm going to close that valve, and right at 5 o'clock, I'm going to flip the switch to kick the sucker on. 3, 2, 1, go. There it is. Just over 11 minutes to 120 psi from zero. I think that's pretty darn slow, especially when I'm sandblasting, things of that nature. It just is. It takes forever. It just doesn't have the volume. It doesn't build up quick enough. It literally just keeps running. It doesn't shut off. I really have to stop quite a bit to let it build up. I thought bumping up to the 60-gallon from the, I think, 23-gallon or 30-gallon, whatever I had before, really keep up, but it just doesn't. With that, I'm going to try and install a new compressor, or actually newer, with this motor. Hopefully it works. Let me show you what I got. Oh, here we go. V-Twin Power. Picked this up on Marketplace. $30. Thank you very much. It appears to build pressure. Looks like this side was off because it's missing a lock washer right there. This valve right here is snapped off, so I'm going to have to see what exactly that is. And it appears to be low on oil, but it is, I mean, the paint's nice on it. And he said it did come off an old 60-gallon compressor, that the compressor rusted out. So it is made to build up a 60-gallon. However, the pulley on this one is probably, I don't know, a third bigger than my old pulley. And it's obviously a bigger compressor. Hopefully my 3-horse motor will have enough snot in it to spin this up the way it needs to be. See, and now I got to drain 120 psi out of this thing. Actually, I should go out and air up the tires. Meh. See, this doesn't make any sense. And look, it just barely dribbles with 120 psi on it. I don't know why. I have to take that off and fix it. So we'll do it up here. We'll let this drain. It should take a little less than half an hour. Alright, well, first off, that's way too much of a gap between the pulley and the housing. And I noticed that the retaining bolt and washer is missing. I do believe this thing has been apart before. I do have some clearance there, so I can bring this thing in about an inch. I'm just going to try and get it adjusted to where it needs to go. So I threw some WD-40 on there, and let's start wailing on it. Oh, see if this works better. I don't know if that's moving. Ow! Oh my god, ow. Oh god. Ah. Yeah, that hurt. just tip it. That'll work. It's kind of loose. Well, good thing I'm taking this apart. Definitely needs some work. Yep, I was pretty sure I'd had that off before. That came off pretty easy. Come on. Yeah. There we go. Easy, girl. There it is. Stay there. Okay. Cool. There's my old compressor. You know, that one might just need a rebuild. This thing's grody. I gotta get it cleaned up first. Come on. No, can't pick it up that way. Sick it. Okay, it's crooked as hell. There's bolts in the way, and obviously that's going to be a little bit of an issue. Yeah, that's pretty stable. It's kind of sitting on the tank. There it is. I broke off, but now I gotta see if I can get my easy out in there to get that chunk of plastic pulled out. And there's a marble type thing. Must be some sort of check valve. Okay, maybe air outlet? Heck, I don't know. Well, of course, this is the only size that I have it'll fit in here, and there's a bottom. So it hits bottom before it snugs down in. The next size up won't fit the hole. So, and of course smaller, it just bottoms out anyway. So I'm gonna see if I can get a little chisel and start tapping around the edge and kind of drive it counterclockwise and run it out of there. Why did I think that would work? Of course, it's plastic, so it basically just chisels the edge off. It's not enough to get vice grips on. What the heck is this? Can't even get my hand in there. Alright, let me get that out of the way. Don't mess up the gasket. You stay there. I mean, there might be enough. I don't know. That doesn't look too promising. I mean, I could drill down through it so it's deep enough for my easy out, and then run the risk of dropping a bunch of little plastic pieces down in there. Sure, why not? That's always a good feeling right there. Being able to get out a broke off fitting. Yep, there we go. Yay. Alright, a day is saved, crisis averted. There we go. 3 bolts ought to hold it in place. Good enough. Alright, let's try this again. Sick it. Ah, good. Come on. Okay. Okay, immediate problem. There's no way I can kick that pulley in far enough and the other one out far enough to get that thing to line up. Let me show you. Yeah, that's way too much of an offset. I think even if I flip this pulley around, put the keyway on the inside, yeah, that's like 6 inches. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna have to figure something else out. I'll kick this one around and see how far out I can set it. Actually, look how much room I have. I mean, I can move it all the way over to here. That would take up a good, that's almost 3.5 inches. I can kick that one out. I might get it to work. Let me see. Okay, I got that reversed. Yeah, I got 3 inches. I think I can kick that out. So with that being said, put that right in the middle. Oh yeah, I only need 2.5 inches. Where's that? There you go. Yep. That'll line it up. So I can bring that out a little bit more. Nice. Okay, so that's as far over to the edge as it'll go. I wish I could set that back like another inch. That would be perfectly fine. But there's like, see that ridge in there? I don't know what that is, but it's about halfway in, and I don't know, I'm guessing that kind of holds it in place. Because I tried whaling on it and it didn't seem to want to move in any farther. I don't know if it's like a retaining pin, spring clip, something, but I mean with that, I don't know how the heck you get that pulley off of there. I have no idea. Anyway. It's pulling air. It's doing something. Alright, well, it's a good thing I need to take this thing off anyway, because this corner bracket here, this basically that acts as my hose reel, or just a hook to hang the air hose on. Now if any of y'all own Jeeps, 80s or 90s Jeep Cherokee, you might recognize this part. Yep, I repurposed it. Now it holds my air hose. Electric motor is mounted. 3 new holes drilled. I have the new 90-degree fitting put in the tank. As far as the compressor, I do need to make another bracket, but while it's sitting down here, I want to go ahead. I'm just going to take this hose off because it's in my way, and it just makes it easier. Alright, cut out a couple extension pieces for angle iron just to fit the gap so the big new compressor can sit on top of some solid metal there. So I took a little bit of bed frame that I used for most of my angle iron pieces, busted out the old chippity chop saw and made short work of that. So I got 2 pieces, I just got to clean them up and then get them welded in. Got my piece cut. I'm going to start on the far side for now because it's the closest to the valve and I wanted to make sure I got that one perfectly right. Notched out the corner so I could run the pressure line for the cutoff or for the shutoff valve. Time to start throwing some sparks. Alright, I'm going to say it's stuck together. Just when you all thought I couldn't weld, here's some kind of buggery welds. That one's not bad. Got a little crooked at the end. That one looks nice. Even did a little underneath. Okay. That should be nice and strong. Alright, well I was reading on the little tag here, and it says 115 PSI, requires 5 horsepower motor. Well, don't have one of those. 1200 RPM max. 1200. Okay, well, my little motor over there is 3450. So obviously, that's too fast. But if we do a little bit of math here, this is a 3-inch pulley. This is a 14 and a half divided by 3 is about 4.8 and some change. 3450 divided by 4.8 is Wow, that's less than 1,000. That's like 720 RPM. Yeah, about 720-ish. Yeah, it's gonna be turning pretty slow. Over half the rated speed. Well, I guess we'll see how it goes. If I have to put a bigger pulley on, I guess, the motor, then I can do that, because I don't think I'll be able to put a smaller pulley on this. It's just, I don't think I can get that one off. Oh well, we'll keep going. Well, she's mounted, so 3 out of 4, not bad. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some oil in here so I don't forget. Alright, well, that's 1 quart in. It doesn't seem to be pouring out anywhere, so that's a plus. Well, rule of thumb is usually you want a little bit of a bubble at the top of the sight glass, so there you go, I got a bubble. So I'm going to consider that full. Serviceable, ready to go. Took some time to go fishing yesterday, got burnt. But anyway, gonna jump back on the compressor, see what we can do. I went to O'Reilly's, picked up a belt. In order to put the belt on, I had to loosen up all the bolts, kick the motor at an angle, feed the belt in, and then straighten it back out and put the bolts in. Anyway, it's plugged in. I don't have anything hooked up right now as far as air feeding into the system. The compressor is full of oil, but I'm going to kick it on and see if that 3-horse motor will actually spin this big compressor. Let's see, predictions. I'm probably going to end up tripping the breaker. I might have to help it along to get it started, but here we go. Let's try it. All right. Sweet. That works. That's what I was worried about, that we wouldn't be able to do it, and it did it. Obviously, it's not building any pressure yet, but now I know where I can go from here. Just got to get it plumbed in and get a couple filters, check the valve, and I think it'll be ready to go. Cool, let me do it again. Yep, there it goes. Well, unfortunately, this compressor just is not going to work out for my application. I would absolutely love to keep it and use it, but first off, my motor is just too small, so that's not going to work. It's 3 horse, that thing requires about a 5 horse, so I'm just going to have to stick with my old compressor for now. I'm also having problems finding parts. The check valve that goes on the top, and then the 2 filters that screw onto the back of each piston are just, I've looked on Amazon and several other websites. I'm sure there's somewhere out there that sells that stuff, because I mean they sell it on the new compressors, but for the life of me I just cannot locate them. And so with the missing parts and the fact that my motor isn't big enough, I don't want to rebuild the entire thing. They do sell bigger compressors that run with a 3-horse motor. Unfortunately, this one's just too big, so what I'm thinking I'm going to do is scrounge around, see what I can find for the missing parts, and then sell this, and then use the money to buy me just a bigger compressor. They have another V-twin compressor that will still run off of the 3-horse motor, and that'll be fine. So that one should work out, but unfortunately in this case, it's a fail. Doggone it. Well, these amazingly cool and cheap Toyota rims that I put on the Silverado a couple years ago are starting to get a little wear on the old tires. As you can see, these suckers are about bald. I think it's mostly from turning into my driveway because it's a steep pitch. But they're weather checked. It's time to get some new tires. I need to upgrade a little bit. Let me show you what I got. Oh, very nice. These are some Goodyear Wrangler Kevlar So Kevlar is what's used in the uniforms of brave men and women over in our war situation, and that protects them from bullets. So I guess that means my tires are going to be bulletproof. Now, so these rims came off of a Jeep, but I don't really need the rims, I just want the tires. The previous owner said he only put about 8,000 to 10,000 miles on them, and they have tons of tread left. There's absolutely no weather checking. They're in fantastic shape, so I'm going to use them. But first, these things are really dirty, so I'm going to get them cleaned up. See? Dirty. Ugh. There they are, looking nice and pretty. Okay, I'll flip them over and do the back sides and then hit the road. Okay, my nice clean tires are all loaded up, ready to go. Now, I'm going to show you what the difference is between these two kinds of tires. These tires that I have on here right now are 265, 65, 17. The tires that I'm putting on are a 245, 75, 17. I think these tires are about 29.5 inches tall. These ones are 31.5 inches tall. Taller, narrower, should mean a little bit better gas mileage. We'll see. So right now, my wheel well is just under 33 inches. We'll see what it is afterwards. Well, this is day number 2 of trying to put these tires on. Unfortunately, yesterday the tire place didn't have any open appointments. They were booked solid. The day before they had time, and today they have all day available. I'm going to try and get these things put on. Hopefully in about the next hour this truck will have brand new tires on it. Looking forward to it. Okay, new tires are on. They feel amazing. Yeah, the truck sits up a little bit higher. Obviously, it's a couple inches taller. The steering a little bit stiffer, obviously, because I have a little more tread that I'm actually turning, because those old tires were pretty stinking bald. But it feels fantastic. These things are great. I know they're going to be a lot better in the sandy soil around here because they have more tread, and hopefully they last a little bit longer than my older tires, and I paid less for them, and I'm happy about that. I mean, now I'm going to turn around, I'm going to sell the rims, and I have no use for them, so I'm going to get rid of those, and that should be it. Let me show you how they look on the truck. Pretty sweet. Hey, look at those nice tires. That looks rough and tough, ready to go. Good tread. I'm a little bit on a funky kind of angle here. Plenty of clearance. I was a little worried about that. Let me check the other side where it's actually pushed in on my bumper. Yeah, that's a little close, but I mean, I still have a little over an inch right there. See how we're doing on height. 35. The heck was it before? I don't even remember. Man, it looks nice. Alright, got a stack of old tires and some rims to get rid of now. Sweet. Well, I think I found out the problem with my water drain on the bottom. The little elbow underneath there was completely packed full of garbage. Even with this completely open, it built up to like 30 psi. So I know that it wasn't flowing the way it should. But I tried cleaning this out a little bit. There's so much crap in there, I'm going to have to run a drill bit down into it and get it flowing nice and smooth. There we go, that's much better. Not so much, but yeah, you can see all the way down through it now. I went out, started off with a 7/32 and then finished off with a 1/4 inch, and I was really taking metal out with both, so the inside diameter on this fitting was pretty small. I'd say no bigger than 3/16. Okay, had a sneaking suspicion that with all that crap inside the fitting, that there's a bunch of crap inside the tank. So even just sticking my little screwdriver up in there, it was coming out just full of poop. So I sprayed some WD-40 up in it, fired it up, and it kind of built, and then boom, like blew a big wad of crap out. Basically, it's like I just ate Taco Bell. So I think I'm going to do that a couple more times, just to get everything, all the loose, like really loose crap down the bottom knocked out, and hopefully it won't plug up my drain anymore. Okay. Oh yeah. 60 psi. There it is. That works like a champ. Cool. Consider that a win. Well, that's going to wrap up another video. I want to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I want to apologize for the long summer that I took off. Basically, it came down to I changed shifts at work. I'm now working a second shift, and just the mornings here with the sun blaring right in my garage has been super hot and muggy just all summer long. So I haven't been able to get a lot done. But I'd like to say that I am back on making videos and content. I was shooting content all summer. It's just kind of getting everything put together and organized into something good. As you can see, I had a couple fails, a couple wins in this video. That's pretty much the way of life, is you win some, you lose some, I guess they'd say. With that being said, I want to wish you all good luck with your projects, and God bless.